That's a funny face. Okay, video number 2. Woo! Okay, so it's pretty good that I left off talking about travel because this segues nicely into uh, our travel plans. Well, I guess it's mostly yours, but kind of mine. If I can visit you in LA, which I totally think we should do. So, it definitely sounds cheaper to do like round trip from Melbourne to LA. And I know that you won't have any stopovers. You shouldn't, at least, because there is one flight that goes from Melbourne to LA nonstop every morning. Because that's the one that I would take. And you get into LA at like 6:30 in the morning local time. That is just like that flight itself. It just like with the time zone changes and everything, it just like messes with your brain because like you leave Melbourne at like 8:30 or 9 o'clock in the morning. So you like eat breakfast or whatever, and you're like on the plane, and then they serve you breakfast, and then you're on the plane for like 15 hours, and you're awake because you just woke up because it's the morning and you're not nocturnal. And then you land in LA at 6:30 in the morning on the same day, and you still have like a whole nother day that you have to stay awake for. So it's definitely difficult. So I would recommend napping on the flight. But it does sound cheaper to do that, and then we can book flights from LA to Philly, and that should be around like $350 round trip US. So total together, that's definitely less than like the 2,500 you're looking for round trip from Melbourne to Philly. So total, it should be around like 2,000, less than 2 grand, I think. Yeah, but definitely keep an eye out for like airline deals. I don't know if you've done this already, but I would recommend signing up. There are a couple you could sign up like with, I mean, like I'm a huge fan of Qantas because that's what I've flown every time I've gone to Australia, and most of the times it's always been like great experiences. Except when we flew to Hawaii, but like the planes that they do from Melbourne to LA, they're like really like brand spanking new. Like the service is great, the people are nice. It was just like a great overall experience, especially compared to like all the domestic U.S. airlines where they pack you in like sardines and you don't get any food and there's like one bathroom you can use. It's terrible. So I would sign up to get like notifications via email for like special offers for like all those different like discount website things. There's this one that I know about. There are a couple. There's one called like Skyscanner. There's another called Airfare Watchdog, and you can like some of them you can choose like the routes that you want, so you can be like, oh, notify me when a low fare comes up for like Melbourne to LA or whatever, and then they'll just email you when they find it. So that's kind of cool, and it's easy because you don't have to actively think about it and like search for it all the time. So I'd recommend doing that. What else? Yeah. The other thing is, do you want to do a day in LA or like an overnight? It will definitely cost more to do an overnight. Um, yeah. One of the downsides is because of the time difference, flying from LA to Philly is just kind of gonna like eat up a good like 7 hours of time. Like with the flight time combined with the time difference, there's really no way to avoid it. Like it's only a 3 hour time difference, but like still, I don't know. So just something to think about. We're gonna have to figure out working while you're here. I'm not gonna stop working entirely, as much as that would be nice to take that time off and just like totally hang out with you. Don't think it's practical from a money standpoint, especially because this summer I'm going on this road trip with my mom and my sister, and I'm gonna be away for like at least 2 weeks, maybe more, because like they're both in school and so they don't have school in the summer. So like really there's like not really any kind of like boundary on either side. So it'll be loads of fun, but it'll be a dent in the money that I can like save to come visit. Not to come visit, for when you visit. So I think maybe, because like what I usually do in the winter or whenever I'm not in school is I work Monday through Thursday 9 to 5. And that includes an hour lunch break on those days. So maybe instead what I'll do is I'll do Monday through Friday 9 to 1 with no lunch break. So then we still have like a good like afternoon and evening time and we can like go do different things. And I can drop you off at the mall. You can hang out at the mall. There are a bunch of Starbucks around. I can drop you off at Starbucks and you can hang out at my favorite Starbucks. Like, they have Wi-Fi and stuff. And like I said, you can play Harry Potter computer games. Those are always loads of fun, I think. Yeah, either on your laptop or you could use mine. So I think you might need Windows for them. Like this one. I mean, like, it always needs to be plugged in, but, you know, whatever. Or you could always stay at home, too. Just, like, hang out. The other thing is Mom and Elise will both be in school for, like, a good amount of time that you're here. So they will be busy during the day as well. So there won't always be someone around when I'm working, if that makes sense. So yeah, but we can definitely like go and do things because that'll be like 20 hours a week. That's 4 hours, 5 days. Yeah, that'll be 20. So that's like what I make this semester. So that'll be fine. And like I don't have to do that. Like if we want to go like on like a 3-day weekend thing, like we can do that, and that's like whatever. That's totally fine. We should definitely try to get to DC as well. Once it starts getting closer, I'll start looking at like Airbnb. It's like these people and they like just like rent out rooms, or like if they're like going somewhere, they like rent out apartments or whatever. The other nice thing about DC is like all the museums are free. It's all funded by the federal government, so thanks a lot, Uncle Sam. And the White House tour thing, I think we have to get tickets like really far ahead of time for that. So that's something to start looking forward. Also, passport. Have you finished applying for your passport yet? If not, do so. The other thing I was thinking, I thought about these things in the shower. The other thing, I think I mentioned this to you before, but I think it's worth mentioning again. Apply for a credit card. It's definitely handy for international travel, and make sure that there are no foreign transaction fees, because a good number of credit card companies will charge you like 3% or something of the purchase for a foreign transaction fee, but there are credit card companies that don't have foreign transaction fees, and they usually advertise that they don't because it's one of their like perks. So I would do that. You can probably find like a good student card if you're worried about getting accepted. I'm not quite sure how credit cards work in Australia, like the whole application process or whatever. I know how it is here, like you have to put in your social security number and stuff. So, and it's all based on like how much you make, which makes sense, but it's also kind of lame, so whatever. Yeah, so I would recommend doing both of those things if you haven't already done them. The other thing that I was thinking of is if you have online banking with your bank, like I have a savings and a checking account. So like if you have like online banking and you can like do payments online to your credit card and stuff, that's going to make your life a whole lot easier when you're over here. So definitely look into those things and see like what you can do to try to make those things happen. So those are my travel to do things for you. I don't know, that didn't make sense. Whatever. I can't believe I'm at 9 minutes already. I'm only through like 3 points on my list. Oh, you said you want to meet my mates. I have lots of work people that you can meet, and they'll like love meeting you. I'm glad that you're game to play a prank on Craig. He's like such a jokester. So yeah, that'll be totally funny. I don't really have any uni friends. Like, I have some friends in my classes, but we don't hang out at all outside, and they are all graduating in May, so that's sad. But we can go visit Tom, and he lives on Long Island, which is like near New York City. So I was thinking we could kind of like go up and see him, and then like go over to New York for New Year's. We'll probably stay at his house. Maybe. I I don't know, I think he's going to be living with his parents, but he's going to be working in a restaurant. He's like, you should totally come to my restaurant. Like, I don't know. So we should do that. Tom is Zach's roommate. And of course, you'll come up and see Lehigh and meet Zach. I'm going to talk about that in my next video. No, I'll just do it now. Yeah, sometimes I feel like I mostly just complain about him, but the other weekend we went on this like 2-hour road trip just to get me this video game that I really wanted to play. And he was driving the whole time, so that was really nice of him. It was like totally spur of the moment. So yeah, he's definitely really nice and he like does things for me, but he's really into his schoolwork, and that's boring for me because he's always like, I need to do this work, but I'm going to complain about it the whole time. And I'm like, let's just go do something fun, don't worry about your work. But he does his homework and complains about it, so I don't know. And he's going to be in school like for the whole rest of the year, like for like a whole nother, including the summer. So we won't really get to do many fun things because he's going to have homework. I can't believe I'm at 11 minutes already. What have I been talking about? Leaving January is fine. I think I remembered you saying that before. Oh, I kind of talked about DC. The other thing is I'll end on this note and then I'll just like jump to all my other topics because this is still travel related. For New York City, do you want to go just for those 3 days or do you want to go for like a longer amount of time? We don't have to do it consecutively. I'm just curious like what you want to do because I know that you're like really looking forward to seeing New York. Did I say New York? I might have said DC. I meant New York. How long do you want to see New York? How long do you want to see Washington, D.C.? Those are my 2 questions. Because I know there's like Broadway shows and like, I think that I looked up the hotel online that you booked and it looks really nice. And $250 a night is like kind of a lot, but still like, it's really nice. So maybe we could like stay there like over New Year's as like a treat or whatever, and like stay in like an Airbnb place some other time when you're here, because that'll probably be a lot cheaper. So yeah, we can also do some shopping in New York because that's something I've always wanted to do and haven't gotten to do. So and I know that you're probably up for that. So yeah, the other downside is sales tax is higher in New York than it is in Pennsylvania. So maybe like shop, and if there's something you really like, then buy it. But if it's like in a chain store, then you can just buy it in Pennsylvania. Okay. Alright, yep, I'm gonna get the video like I predicted I might need. Hopefully that's all, and I'm not gonna make you watch like an hour of me talking like that one time. So, on to video number 3.